Hi, everyone. We are so close. This week, we are going to have our lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces on the 27th and the 28th of August, 2026. And some of the things that I've been talking to my clients about is that this is the time in this week, and of course, eclipses last for about 6 months. But in particular, this week, this is about clearing out. It's about releasing. And I think that it's also picking the dots or choosing or finding the patterns that are often sitting in our subconscious. So because this full moon eclipse is in Pisces, it's the water sign. It's the sign of emotion overflowing. I had a client who was questioning why she had some plumbing issues in her house, right? So there's just this week. So there's just all these things that are coming up. Pisces also represents the mystery, even the illusion, even what's hidden, right? So it's a lot of unconscious, subconscious stuff that's coming up to the surface. And we are being invited to release, to let go. And part of all of that may be a different cadence in your daily life, such as you may want to take a nap in the middle of the day. You don't understand why, and it doesn't matter why. But if your system needs the recharge and the reset, I'm going to say to you, this is the best thing that you can do, is to really listen. If you're feeling very emotional, which again, Pisces is all about deep emotions. There may be things unfamiliar to you, and all of a sudden your emotions are foreign. Maybe they're bubbling up more than they normally do, or maybe you just are not a crier and all of a sudden you're finding yourself getting very emotional. And of course, sometimes that emotion is not necessarily in tears. It could be in anger. It could be in frustration. It could be in impatience. So be really, really mindful and check your emotions this week, because there's so much here that is, again, bubbling up to the surface. And so one of the things that I've been doing with my clients this week is, can you identify right now an area of your life that's triggering you? And maybe it's causing pain. Maybe your interpretation of someone that you care about or people that you know, maybe there's a level of rejection, or feeling that you're going to get it wrong, or feeling like you will be abandoned if you don't go along with or volunteer, or if you don't say no to something, an invitation of some kind, whether that's a business collaboration or a new business opportunity. But it also could be in just, friends wanting to get together and you're just not feeling it. But there's other things that come up to the surface. So I invite you to see if you can see the thread of what is surfacing, if the emotions are feeling raw, if they're feeling just unsettled, right? So, and can you follow that thread in a time in your life? And maybe it's going back to your childhood. We talked about this last week, that if you can find that thread and nurture your child self, can your adult self go to that time experience, and maybe that experience is still very triggering for you? Can you go back, close your eyes, and be the nurturing, loving, caring, supportive parent, and give the love, the attention, the care that child in that memory didn't have? Whether it was a family member, whether it was something that happened on this, playground, whether it was a childhood friend who hurt you. There's all these things that are coming up for us. So I really, really invite you to take the courage and find the thread. And if you can do that a few times, where you're going in and you're caring for the child within you that maybe was never cared for. Maybe there was an abandonment. Maybe there was circumstances that were so painful that it's really hard for you to even bring that memory up. And I am not a doctor, and I'm not a psychotherapist in any way, shape, or form. But my suggestion is, can you find at least the thread so that you can start to heal the wound? Because what happens when we don't heal the wound from a past trauma and something happens in our now adult life is that the wound that may have been slightly healed, the wound opens. And so have you ever noticed that you think that you've maybe healed something and then something else will occur in your life, maybe a different relationship with someone. It could be someone that you work with, and all of a sudden there's fear of competition or abandonment or feeling judged, or you get the point, right? So can you take the time to nurture the child as your adult self that didn't get what it needed, what you needed as a child? And why am I emphasizing this so much? Well, when we can find the courage and actually do this, we are repairing the past. And when we repair and heal the past, we no longer carry it with us in our present and future self. So the things that then, when we're healed from these past wounds, that the experiences that we have that may have triggered us in the past, right? So maybe someone rejected you. Instead of thinking that we're not good enough, there's something wrong with us, that here we go, we're getting abandoned again. Here we go, there's insecurity. What's wrong with me? I'm not worthy of having the right people in my life. All of that story and narrative just disintegrates. It's gone when we heal the past. When we heal the past, we don't bring that forward into the now. We don't bring it forward into the future. So these experiences will then no longer start to occur because we're seeing things from a different lens. We don't necessarily have to be upset if someone says, hey, you know what? I'm not really feeling it, or I'm not interested in hanging out tonight. We don't have to take it personally. We could say, okay, no problem. Right? We learn a different narrative when we're able to heal the past. So again, very critical week. I invite you to find this courage to go down and heal something that is still showing up. It's still showing up in your current life. And forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean that you forgive the person in person. You can forgive them in your heart, right? Whatever was wronged to you, whatever was causing or caused you pain, you can forgive that, the situation, those people, that person. You can forgive them in your heart, because when you do, you release yourself from the bonds that you carry that no longer serve you. So this is part of the recalibration. Recalibration is alchemy. So when we can alchemize and go through this alchemical process of transmuting old energy, old patterns, and we release those, we make room for the things that we really do desire to have in our lives. If you would like to learn more about how to recalibrate, the importance of it, the practices and tools to recalibrate, I have a free upcoming webinar. It's actually more of a live event on Instagram. And it is this Thursday. It's the 27th of August, 2026 at 11 a.m. Central Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you're not already subscribed, hit that notification button, subscribe or like, and I really appreciate it. If you know of anybody who would like to hear this, please pass it along, and I hope to see you on Thursday. Thank you so much.